On this LifeFlight, an early morning car crash leaves a family devastated.
It's not supposed to be like that. You know, he's my baby.
An injured yachty triggers a high-stakes rescue.
We're pushing this boat around, Big Star.
Yeah, I know, it's chasing me.
And a head-on collision leaves a cyclist fighting for her life.
It's extensively damaged and cracked as she's hit the car and been dragged across the bonnet and down the road.
When emergencies strike, time, distance, and the men and women of LifeFlight can be the difference between life and death. This is LifeFlight. When it comes to flying the length and breadth of New Zealand, helping to save lives, preparation is essential.
Weight and balance is all good. Got some discharge strips, just making sure it's all good.
At the Wellington base, First Officer Danielle Aitchison is preparing for a mercy dash to New Plymouth.
Just listening to any noises that maybe shouldn't be there, just alerts us to anything that may be wrong. It always pays to be quite thorough and sort of make sure that you're happy with everything.
Specialist medical care will be provided by flight nurse Jane Shepherd.
So we're heading off today in the LifeFlight plane up to collect a 27-year-old man who, by the sounds of it, has had a car accident last night. Don't know a lot of details at the moment, but I know that he's intubated, so he's got a tube that's helping him breathe. I think it's still early days.
And better caption
Is on.
is complete.
Clear locks and caps my side. Starting.
In charge of the flight is Captain Alistair Matthews.
And
That's check my control.
Your control.
Police turned up, knocked on the door 6:30 this morning, and he asked if I owned a blue Isuzu Moo. I said yes. He says, well, it's been in a serious car accident. I had a fair idea it was Tyrone, my son, and burst out crying first, and then and all the police were saying it's serious.
Initial assessments have given Tyrone's partner Rachel hope that Wellington specialists may be able to save his life.
Just have to wait and see what the CT scan says, and he's fighting away.
Also on the mission to New Plymouth are flight doctor Travis Pereira and crewman Steve Reeve.
I just give these Ambos a call.
Okay.
Yeah, good morning, it's Steve from LifeFlight Wellington here.
The brain's only got so far that it can swell, so it's kind of a closed box. If the pressure's not relieved, is that the brain swells, and then the only way it can go is down into the spinal cord. Unfortunately, what that does is cuts off the blood supply and causing irreversible damage and death.
And Winch is housed, Winch check complete, Winch power off.
It's a busy morning, and back at Wellington base, LifeFlight's second life-saving machine is needed. A man is injured and trapped on a yacht.
Roger, lifting off, capture one. It's one of the harder frosts I've seen around here, actually.
Coming to the stranded yachty's aid is pilot Harry Stevenson, crewman Logan Taylor, and intensive care paramedic Nigel Stevens.
All we've got at this stage, information is limited, but all we have really is just that he has a hip injury from a fall. Boats can be one of the trickier winches, depending on the size. This is a yacht, so it has masts, which can be quite a hazard at times.
I'm not actually too sure of the size, but I'm just picking that it's pretty small because there's only one guy on board.
Yeah.
And it's a sloop, so there'll be lots of rigging. There he is, I've got him in sight.
A small yacht named Distance has a limited deck area, complicating the winch operation.
Distance, this is West Bank Helicopter, channel 160, copy over?
Yeah, copy, yeah, over.
It's a quick briefing, we'll be deploying a high line onto the deck. Just make sure you're clear of the high line when it's deployed. Don't pull the rope too tight, and don't tie the rope off to anything on your vessel.
Kind of set up the wrong side of there, but I'll just point in straight at the back, basically, and we'll see how we go.
Okay, roger that.
You ready for a highline deploy?
I am indeed. So what you mean, there's a guideline right in the middle, isn't there, in the back?
Yeah.
The wire that runs from the top of the mast to the deck halves the space the team have available to work in.
Okay. Easy, right one. And try the highline. Highline is on the deck, it's in the cabin. Come back to your target.
The Westpac rescue helicopter is hovering at the same height as the mast, but a wrong move could cause a devastating collision.
Okay, so hold on quite tight to the highline there.
Okay.
Keep this maybe, I don't know if you're going to hear you. Okay, we've got Nige coming on to the winch. And clear skids.
Clear skids.
He's got a desk grip on that highline. He's got it tight as I can't not let go of it.
And there's New Plymouth coming up ahead of us.
Request a visual if you're happy.
Flight S01 requesting a visual approach.
Meanwhile, the fixed wing team have made good progress on their way to retrieve car crash victim Tyrone.
Hi, it's Jane, one of the flight nurses calling from Wellington. Just ringing to let you know, just landed at Taranaki Airport. We're just about to load into the ambulance and we'll be coming in to see you. Is there any change with the patient at the moment? No. Okay.
Local doctors don't have the neurosurgical expertise necessary to make a full assessment of the patient, and the team are unsure of what they will find.
When we get there, we should try and get a blood gas sent off as soon as possible. So if we're going to give him mannitol or strong salt, we need to see his sodium.
Dad Perry and Mum Bernadette have rushed to be near their son after receiving the news no parent wants to hear.
When Perry rang me up and then all I did was just cry, it's not a real good feeling. We're just hoping that boy's going to be strong enough and pull out of it.
27-year-old Tyrone is a 6'7" gentle giant who is the heart of his tight-knit family.
I don't know, it's...
I can feel it in my heart that there's a lot of love here, and we're just hoping that is going to help him pull through it as well.
Winch power's on.
Okay, clear to beam out.
Yeah, clear to beam out.
Beam out.
In the Marlborough Sounds, the LifeFlight team are attempting to winch paramedic Nigel down to an injured yachty.
Okay, and we're about 10 feet from the skid to the far side. We're pushing this boat around, big style.
Yeah, I know, it's chasing me.
Yeah, okay. Keep on forward, Harry. Forward 4.
About as far forward as I can go.
3, 2, 1, steady the anchor position there. Getting them on the deck now. We've got them right in the corner.
Nice work.
I've got the hook in hand.
The highline's clear of the vessel lobes.
Roger that. Durban Maritime from Westpac. We have winched our paramedic down onto the vessel. The patient's been assessed now.
Roger, sir, copy. Thank you, over.
65-year-old Don was on his way back to the boat after feeding Weka when he slipped in a stream and damaged his hip.
Did you actually feel it pop out?
No, I didn't.
Don was in a logging vehicle accident and now has a set of artificial hips and knees, but recent x-rays show one hip replacement is in danger of breaking apart.
How are you looking time-wise, Nige? Just wondering whether I put down somewhere and wait, or are you just about ready?
We're just about ready.
Okay.
Right, let's get ready.
If you lose sight of the vessel, you can actually start drifting quite quickly, and it all turns to custard.
Like to stay there, it'll be good. Yeah, winch it out. And once again, just with the mast and then the guide wires coming down to the rear of the vessel and forward.
Can't really come forward.
Okay.
The team will have to work in sync to get Nigel and Don off the deck without tangling the winch and the yacht's mast.
Just trying to get this sort of efficient to them.
Well, Alistair, we're just leaving the hospital now on our way back to the airport. We'll be with you in about just over 20 minutes.
Back in New Plymouth, the LifeFlight team are focused on getting car crash survivor Tyrone to Wellington, before pressure inside his skull causes more damage.
On the scene, his GCS was 3, which is as low as it can be, meaning he's not responding to anything, any stimulus, any pain. Without, getting him down to Wellington with LifeFlight to the specialist, to the neurosurgical team, could end up in a really bad scenario. Worst case scenario could be, he won't survive.
Tyrone's large family is travelling by road, but Dad Perry is flying with his son.
It sounds like there's bits of blood, little specks of blood in his brain from where he's probably, when he's had the impact. The doctors are going to pop a little pressuring device into his head to see how tight his brain is. If it's high, then they may look at other ways of releasing the pressure in his brain. But again, it's just a wait and see, which is frustrating in itself. He's a big lad though, I tell you.
Scans reveal Tyrone has a broken neck and every care has been taken to immobilise him.
Cabin is secure, pre-takeoff checks complete.
Roger that. On away.
Do you remember what he said, what the ICU guy said about his airway when he directly visualised it?
He didn't actually specify, he just said it was really difficult.
It's been 12 hours since ambulance officers arrived at the crash scene to find the SUV on its side against a pole.
Did you notice what his obs were doing when he arrived in ED? And we're not entirely sure why. It's kind of complicated because he's got a cervical spine injury or suspected before the scan. So you always treat it as a cervical spine injury, but that really limits the movement when they're trying to pop ventilate or an endotracheal tube in. We're just trying to work out what was the cause of the problems.
Oh, James just asked me to remind you that we need a long roll out. I said, I'm sure you haven't forgotten.
No, perfect.
Okay, cheers.
Okay.
Tyrone's still in a really serious condition, critical condition. We're not entirely sure how things will go. It's really a minute-by-minute thing at the moment.
Hopefully he pulls through and it's not as bad as what they think when they look at him, and recoveries quick and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I'll twist it around for you.
There we go, hook in hand.
Back above D'Urville Island in the Marlborough Sounds, the LifeFlight team are attempting to winch injured sailor Don off his yacht.
Let him clear the boat, feed back and right, Harry, to your target. And winch it in. Just going to bring him in here, and just go open the door here. Have the patient on board. And clear to move off slightly if you want, Harry.
Roger. Good job there, guys.
Good, Harry. Good, very much.
I'll just get him secured.
How's the hip? Sore. How hard is it to give me a bit of pain relief? I can basically give you, I can put a needle in your arm, via your nose. I can stretch it up your nose.
Okay, landing cabin 01.
And we're pretty much sitting secure in the back here, Harry.
Very good. 2,500 or below vibratory signal for the hospital, cabin 01. Alrighty, cleared out there, guys.
Roger.
Highly skilled teamwork has delivered Don to safety, but the extent of his injuries is still to be discovered, and the LifeFlight team have another emergency on their hands. At the LifeFlight base, reports have come through of a woman whose life is at risk. Pilot Mike Hall, crewman Logan Taylor and intensive care paramedic Aaron Hartle are the patient's best option if she is to survive.
What we're off to is a car versus cyclist in Waikanae, which is about 18 minutes flight time from now, and the person is apparently unconscious due to probably a head injury or a chest injury. So what I'm doing here is that we do a skill where we paralyse and sedate a patient to facilitate intubation if they're critically ill.
We've had a confirmation saying that RS site is required. We have an RSI paramedic who can meet you at Weka Park.
Picking up a second qualified paramedic to help with the RSI, or rapid sequence induction, will improve the patient's chances, but the unscheduled stop could bring its own complications.
Obviously we want to keep people to a good distance to the helicopter. Sorry Mike, can I just interrupt you there? Hannah's just texted me saying there's a football game on, land at the south end of the park. Good as gold. Oh, a bit different for the kids' soccer game?
No, I've got people in my team currently at Nana.
Intensive care paramedic Hernan Holiday was on his way to work and is now thrown into the middle of a high-stakes mission.
Got a female that's Carby Cyclist and she's reported to be unconscious, unresponsive, and the RSI's indicated. Just advising landing at Waikanae Park now.
Back at Wellington Hospital, neurosurgeons have inserted a bolt into Tyron's head to measure the pressure, but spikes in the readings are causing concerns for Senior Registrar Lawrence Walker.
Should we paralyse him? Atrocure him? The pressures in his brain have come back down after this morning. Now they've come up without us doing anything, so it's a bit more concerning, and they're staying home. So there are different things that can go inside the brain to increase the pressure, and this generalised pressure increase that is concerning. So, I mean, it's just a number, but it's a number that makes us concerned.
Scans reveal bruising on the frontal lobe 8 millimetres thick, but no new swelling.
If he does continue to have problems with his pressure, there's a possibility that there's a space to drain some fluid from the brain. We'll get the formal report in the next half hour or so and have a chat to family. Yeah.
While neurosurgeons plan a course of action, Rachel and baby Torian spend some time with Tyrone. The first Rachel knew of the accident was when a cousin in the police force knocked on her door.
Pretty devastated. It's terrible. Gut-wrenching. I'm just praying for him. Just praying for him, eh, baby? 92.
Doctors are preparing to insert a drain to remove fluid and lower the pressure inside Tyrone's skull, but the outlook is worrying for consultant Alex Sarides.
I think worst case scenario could be that the pressure in his brain continues to get worse and we're not able to control that with medication, in which case that would be very bad for Tyrone.
Is that still want to do that?
No, not now. It's good.
Okay.
In the emergency department, paramedic Nigel is attempting to discover the extent of Yachty Don's injuries.
Feeding the wild birds, the wekas and that, and coming back out last night in the afternoon and crossing the creek and slipped. And my hip went one way. I ended up, lucky there was a fair bit of water, I landed flat on my back in the creek. And the hip didn't come out of joint, but it was really painful. And I thought the pain would go away, but it got worse.
In Waikanae, the team have located critically ill cyclist Yvonne.
The patient's in here and we're going to sort them out and then move into the helicopter.
And the helmet's also essentially cracked. She's got a blown pupil on the right.
Intensive care paramedic Hannah Latta is caring for Yvonne, who flew over her handlebars when she hit the car.
Yeah, I know you're scared. Okay, but we're here. We're going to take really good care of you.
She doesn't require RSI, but Yvonne's extremely confused and her blown pupil is concerning.
We do think she does have a head injury, so we're going to be loading her into the helicopter as soon as we can and follow her off to Wellington. Just I didn't have departed scene. How did you hit the car? Did the car pull out on you? I don't remember. Okay. Do you know what day of the week it is today? She is a cyclist versus car. She's rolled over the bonnet and been dragged by the car. Her right pupil is blown. It's about 5 mil and non-reactive. Yeah. And she's got extensive damage to her helmet. It's damaged and cracked through the base here. So that's been damaged as she's hit the car and been dragged across the bonnet and down the road.
Yvonne's family have been notified and the hospital team are prepped and ready to treat her worrying injuries. Meanwhile, Tyrone's family wait anxiously to discover if a drain inserted into his head will relieve the fluid build-up inside Tyrone's skull.
His pressures have come down a little bit, so fingers crossed that it's been a success and it will actually help control the pressure in his brain.
You see kids laying in bed with all the stuff on wired up to all the machines and that, and you can't do nothing for young kids. It's hard. It's not supposed to be like that. You know, he's my baby.
In the recovery ward, badly injured cyclist Yvonne is suffering lost balance, headaches, and can't see out of her right eye.
I want to be able to see, and I keep telling my right eye to open, and it doesn't want to. I feel quite emotional right now. Quite emotional. But this won't beat me. I'm going to get back on my bike again.
9 months after being hit by a car, Yvonne is on her way to regaining her full eyesight and has started to cycle again. Tyrone was later woken from his induced coma and moved to a rehabilitation facility. 4 months on, he's begun to speak and continues to improve. Injured yachty Don was relieved X-rays revealed there was no further damage to his false hips. He returned to his boat to wait for another hip replacement.